I may not be able to get in.
4:13 p.m.
Yeah, you can come on in.
We discussed personnel matters and possible litigation.
Excuse me.
And no decisions were made. Now, at this time, I will make a motion that the district employ John Gillenwater as our general manager effective in 2 weeks.
I second that motion.
It's been moved and second, we employ John Gillenwater as our general manager effective in 2 weeks. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. The vote is 2-1. I will make a motion that we make Jeff Miller the chief operator of the plant.
I second that.
Moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no.
No.
So that was 2-1 as well. All right, Jonathan, what do you have to report?
We received bids on the alcohol water project, and we're over budget, but I've been in the process of talking with RUS, the DEP, and the Infrastructure Council about finding the additional funds in order to close that gap. I've talked to both of the contractors, and they're still.
Okay, Jonathan, I don't know, and I'm not as familiar with it, I guess, as I should be. But I thought we had already had approved 6.9 million for the
That's correct.
project.
Mm-hmm.
And the gentleman, Chernacki, they approved, his bid was 5 point something, so.
Yeah, what you had, Bruce, is that's the total project amount, that's not construction. The
Okay,
6.9
so
that was
there's other-
approved, that included legal fees, engineering fees.
Well, I
fees for
knew
getting
they were
right
some
away.
soft
That's
costs
the
and
total.
so
That's the
forth
total
on
of
that.
6.9. So what I'm saying was it came in a little over on the construction side of things, and I'm in the process of talking with the funding agencies in order to close that gap and get that resolved.
Okay.
So what we did is we established a, what they call a Schedule B, which is a listing of all these funds. We've itemized it, and just need a budget number from you.
I think we got that number. In fact, I got a call internally today about how to, to contact you, to give you, our number.
Okay.
So I think,
And as soon as we do that, all this will be finalized, and we're on the process of moving forward to get the project
Now,
awarded.
what do we do, how is the, I guess the money that we need, how is that going, and who are we?
I mean, the
asking?
6.9 million is already secured. It's
Yeah.
already taken care of. This is over and above that 6.9 million.
I understand, but I'm just saying, when we go to ask these different agencies, how much are you anticipating that we're gonna need, or do you know at this point?
It's roughly around $500,000.
$500,000.
I mean, chances of us getting turned down for that are practically zero.
I mean, yeah, we have bids in hand, and like I said,
And who all will we ask? Like
we've asked the
DEP?
people, RUS, IJDC, and actually I have a call in to the DEP as well, which is a large portion of this project as well.
Okay.
So-
That was my question.
No, I've talked-
Because I'm a little naive in it. When I heard that bid at 5.9 or 5.4, whatever, I thought, oh, well, we're under bid, so, we'll be fine. And I was counting in my head.
You're still
but
fine. I
The
mean,
math,
I'm
the
just
math
working.
person in me, I was saying the tanks was 500,000. I thought, well, we're still under the 6.9, so.
This is fairly common.
Yeah, I mean, this is nothing,
Nothing out of the
I'm not excited about it. We're gonna get it solved and get it resolved and get the project awarded. I mean, I'm just stating where we are right now. I mean, the other thing is, Danielle has been successful in getting a couple more right-of-ways signed, which is saving you money on the condemnation side of things. Lewis Glasser has sent out a bunch of, I think we ended up with 10 letters that needed to be sent. We've gotten 2 more easements signed. We have a couple more to go. So,
Which that lowers the actual number that we have to actually.
Now, do we have to have all of these, Mr. Keener, condemned before we could actually start digging?
Well, we either have to have, that's a good question, Bruce. We either have to have the easement signed or the right-of-ways obtained, the rights of possession obtained in court.
One or the other.
One or the other.
Yeah.
But what, like what Jonathan has indicated, that originally we had about 10 parcels that we thought we might have to condemn, which would have, set a price on. But we through Danielle and our staff, we sent out letters and basically told them, said, look, we're getting ready to condemn your property, and that's resulted in that number of 10 being reduced drastically down to probably, I want to say like maybe 2 or 3. So,
How did this come to be that we needed more money? Because it was approved through the Public Service Commission.
The budget-
12/31 of 13 for the
Correct.
6,000,009, and funding was obtained accordingly. And how did it take a year for this to get to bid? And now this is coming through. Is this gonna? And
It's not, Versi, we're working to get the additional money to make this happen, and that's what I'm working through now.
Does it have to go back through the Public Service Commission? And
No, not if it doesn't affect, and it won't affect rates, okay? The only time you need to go back to the Public Service Commission is if it's gonna be a rate impact, and you have to reopen the certificate case. In this case, what I'm asking for is additional grant monies in order to make the project come to
Okay.
fruition.
But why when-
So what I wanna get to your question, approved 12/31, and what was the delay was getting the 80% and getting the preliminary title opinion in order for us to go to bid. That's what's been the delay and what took the long time from the time it was approved at the Public Service Commission to when the time it actually advertised for bid. So we received the preliminary title opinion, what was it, August, late July, early August. We went ahead and advertised it in the newspaper as soon as we had approval from the funding agencies.
RUS.
And then, RUS and the Infrastructure Council gave us approvals, and then we opened bids in October.
Okay.
Now,
So it-
Jonathan, let me ask you, I'm sorry,
No,
Percy.
that's okay, go ahead.
Let me ask you the other question. Will it, let's say that it's gonna take some time to get the $500,000. I'm just saying, I'm the devil's advocate on this. Will that affect us starting construction on this? When it gets time to start
We have a
90.
90-day bid hold. Okay? Mercy, this is standard in all these municipal jobs, okay? There's a 90-day bid hold.
So we're not gonna go to bid until 15? We're not gonna go to construction or have a
I mean-
opening before 2015?
2015. You have a 90-day bid hold from the time that the bids are opened, okay? And that's in order to close on the financing. This is standard in almost every public
Close on
job.
financing, we've been doing drawdowns on this
We
since
haven't
October.
closed on anything. We have binding commitments of funds, Versi, meaning the money is committed. But we have to do a loan closing with the bond council. And that loan closing happens typically around that 90-day period.
Well, how can they do drawdowns? We've sat right here and.
Because the grant money was already committed. That's grant money.
But that was committed for the very last leg of this project. Not to be spent until the upper Mud River.
I'm not gonna argue with when it was supposed to be spent, okay? Because I didn't have that conversation. But what I will say is that that money was set aside for this project, and the DEP worked with the development office in order to be able
For
to access.
leverage, for leverage for the other monies.
Well, it was to be able to access that, because the DEP did not have a mechanism to pay the district. There was no way that they could access that money. They needed another agency, and that's when they worked out an agreement between the development office and the DEP in order to be able to access that money.
Absolutely, they
So what you have is, you have a funding scenario here that is probably 90% grant funded, which is outstanding for the district. That's keeping the rates
I know that was a plus
at a
to it.
low.
I understand
So we have a small loan component that needs to be taken care of. Now, that loan closing happens, like I said, there's a 90-day bid hold, and after bids are open, 90 days for bond counsel, get all this financing put together, and those are the final numbers.
Yeah.
That was a budget situation, and when the contractors came out and looked at it and said, hey, they were scared of the amount of rock and the difficult construction that is in the Alcohol area, and which affected their prices, and those prices went up a little bit.
Isn't there a rock phase in all construction
There
contracts?
is, and there's not a rock clause here, but there were some, they were concerned about the difficulty of the project and also the time it was gonna take to get it done. But quite honestly, I think we have a good bid for that, and I'm in the process of, talking to these other agencies to secure the additional money in order to make this thing go.
So you really don't foresee an issue with,
No, and the other thing is, I mean, you're talking about closing on the financing.
so I mean, that affects me too.
Right, well, sure, and the construction phase too. I mean, that's really up to the contractor and when they're, you know, we go ahead and close, 90 days from the bid opening is first week in January. So, I mean, I'm working with with RUS and Infrastructure Council and all of these other funding agencies in order to make this come to fruition. And it is gonna come to fruition, and we are gonna get it built, and that's
How
really.
how were we notified? Who bid, how did that come to be, that there was, it cost more than 6.9?
I went back, when we received bids, I did certified bid tabulations we had 5 or 6 bidders on contract number 1. And
That was actually the construction.
that was the construction bid, that was on the line contract. I mean, we had a bidder on contract 2, which was the tank contract. I formulated those, I came back, I looked at all the budgets with the professional contracts that we have, went through those and came up with this Schedule B to come up with the exact total number for the project.
So
and-
what's Schedule B, what's Schedule A?
I don't know what Schedule A is, Percy, but Schedule
Oh,
B,
okay.
Schedule B is the terminology used for the project budget.
Okay.
And what that does is the Schedule B has all the funding agencies in it, and then how much money and in what line items their money is to be obligated for. So it'll be separated between engineering, construction, and legal, accounting, and all of that,
But you're saying around $500,000.
as it stands right now.
Stands right now.
And I'm also working with the contractor to see if there was ways we could reduce their number as well. So maybe my hope is that, and my plan is, that the combination of those two things, we get to it and we make it happen.
But you'll keep us, I know you.
I'm
you'll keep us abreast of
I'm gonna
everything
keep the
that-
board informed,
Yeah.
and, you know, Bercy, I told you, ever since I met you, you can call me, email me, and you have, and you will continue to, which is fine, and I'm happy to keep you informed, and Anita, that goes the same with you, so. The only other thing is, the district, I'll be providing a letter to the district stating that I concur with these low bidders, that we'll need to go ahead and forward to the rural utility service, that's one of their requirements. And then the district will have to say, hey, we concur, and I'll draft that letter for you on behalf, and it'll just need to go on your letterhead and send that out, so we can go ahead and get that ball rolling.
Okay, you got anything else?
That's all I have.
Ray, you have anything other than what we've already discussed?
No.
E.L. Robinson or Rick somewhere. And I see a big manila envelope, so. From E.L. Robinson.
The Lower Mud project, we're waiting on the small cities announcement. Historically, they're made in December. Last year they were in January, but sometime in that time frame. I'd also reported to you last month on the Deerfield Road project.
Yes.
And the county contacted me back as far as our request for some additional grant funds for that. They said it was not in the budget, but it would be possible to consider it for the upcoming year's budget, so.
So
That's
starting in
something that-
July.
Is that
Yeah, but I
July?
believe they start working on it just after the first of the year, but yeah, it would be
The money would be dealt out in July.
yes,
Right.
it would be the
Can I ask you a question at this time? Were you the engineer? Did you prepare all the budgets and everything and all the submitted for the funding for the
Which-
Lower Mud? I'm just curious, and I might ask I asked everybody, because on the Lower Mud project, it's tied into 1356 in the Public Service Commission, and the Certificate of Necessity and Convenience is titled Alcohol Lower Mud.
The Lower Mud project that I'm talking about is a separate project. It
So
begins.
was it just a typo with the
Um,
alcohol? Because that
I-
really
I-
should have been
I-
Upper Mud
Yeah,
River, I
would
guess.
imagine. I can't really answer.
should
The
have
that.
been.
financials also says the same thing, the submittal in the
It-
financials. So that's my.
It is a completely separate project, and it was some sort of clerical error that got that Lower Mud
Name.
word in there, yeah, so.
Is that project being funded, completely funded?
Not completely, we're waiting on the Small Cities Block Grant to, and we also had an ARC grant pending, and it was not approved, so. Now we're trying to get the Small Cities Block Grant. Any questions? Thank you.
That's it. Do we have a manager report written?
Yeah.
Do they have, make a motion to accept it?
I make a motion to accept it.
Have a second. A motion to second to accept the manager's report. New business, the groundbreaking ceremony for Alcoa Woodville. And I have not heard from Anita since we met.
It's, almost done. We've got everything going.
Good. That's perfect.
Yeah,
11 a.m. Saturday.
11 a.m. Saturday.
They have the things
And
over
yeah, there's
there, I
some
think.
papers up there,
Thank you.
the invitations right here.
I'm sorry, my stuff was on it.
Okay. So do you think we'll have a turnout?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's
What,
perfect.
what are you gonna need food-wise, or money for food?
I've already got food taken care of. It's already,
I believe that there was some type of anonymous donation made to cover the expenses.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Was that by Reiki?
Anyway, just.
I don't know who made it.
No, we would.
Everything is covered, she says, so let's just
yeah,
let that
I'll,
go.
I'll have the bills.
Yeah,
I'll
no.
give you the bills when I
That's
get
fine.
done.
All right.
I just wanted to know, that's
Yeah,
all.
I'll give it to you when I get it all together.
Brenda Eskew wishes to speak.
do. Mr. Gregory and Mr. McMillan, would you please resign from the Lincoln PSD Board?
No.
No,
Be informed that more than 5% of the customers have petitioned for your removal. I will be presenting them to the prosecutor, the county commission, and the circuit court. I have asked for the minutes of the last 12 meetings and have been told that they are not in the office. Mr. Gregory, do you know where they are?
Certainly do not. I haven't been in the office either for 2 weeks, so I don't know.
Well, I asked you on September
And I told
25th
you they were here,
for the minutes.
and they were at that time.
Well, it was the next day I asked for them and they weren't in the office, and you were here.
You
I
just
would
proceed.
still-
I have nothing to say.
I would
Ma'am,
still-
if you-
I would still like to-
If you're gonna ask questions, could you give him an opportunity to answer? And you don't have to back up.
Yeah, I do, because I do.
You,
Yeah, I do have to back up when it comes
are
to.
you afraid of me?
Yes, I am.
So you're gonna name me in the petition also?
Who knows?
Okay.
So far, you're not in the petition, but I'm backing up because I don't wanna be within hand distance of you.
Oh, so
From the last meeting when I was called a deaf mute, and you got in my face.
I did.
You will not get in my face again.
So,
Okay, are we gonna have, you have
No,
more
but-
comments?
I want a copy of the handbook. You said that you were
okay,
making
so
it.
let it be known, I've been accused of assaulting a customer.
You were in my
Oh,
face.
I was in your face.
Yes, at the last meeting.
Okay.
Alright.
We've got witnesses here that will contradict that. Okay.
Do you have anything else? All right, what's next on the agenda? Terry Martin, Region 3.
Yes, good morning or evening.
Afternoon.
I have Terry Moran and Grady Painter with me from Boone County PSD. We are in the process of getting ready to start a project for the Morrisville Cameo water line that goes from Boone County into Lincoln County and then back into Boone County. This is the only route that there is to go. We've secured funding for this project, and what we're doing is just more or less getting,
Yes, I am.
giving
No,
you
you're not.
information.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, this is the church down there, the First Baptist Church, that's that section there.
Let me go ahead and take the chair.
See, here's the.
I wanna find out where we're going. Go with me.
Yes, you're on hold.
Yeah, that would
We
all be.
have, Gary's taking the chair.
I'm Terry Moran with Preston Associates.
Good job.
I've got a tremor. I've got a familiar tremor. Anyway, this matter was dropped yesterday.
Can you just say anything?
Hold on, sir.
Good, sir.
Good.
That man was, where he threatened to choke us. The assault, what I was told
Tunnel and that side and bypass.
We're not doing the tunnel, we're not doing the tunnel.
So you'd be going up the hill. and-
We're going Route 3, just right along
So
here.
basically, if we get
Yes.
through
Yeah, that's, you're okay now.